Government has been developing its intention to turn Wales into a nation of sanctuary for refugees and asylum seekers. Is this a major priority for your Government?
Well, can I welcome the member to, as the latest leader of UKIP in this chamber. I have absolutely no idea why he has such a problem with refugees. We have a proud record of giving sanctuary to people who have been persecuted around the world. Children particularly have seen things that he has never seen. He has never seen. Adults who have seen people killed in front of them, people who have seen war, people who have been the subject of persecution, sometimes of genocide. And there he is saying that somehow a nation of sanctuary is not something we should pursue.
Actually, I asked you a question. I didn't make any assertion, but I thank you for your reflections. It does sound from your answer, First Minister, that this is going to be a major priority for your Government, so that's very interesting. As you may recall, I was the only member of the Assembly's Communities Committee who opposed the nation of sanctuary idea. Now I have made an assertion. I thought that we should be looking after our own people first. Obviously, a strange idea to many people in this chamber. There are massive problems of housing, destitution and access to mental health provision in Wales already. Before you agree to encourage another very needy group of people to come here in greater and greater numbers, which is what you are doing with your nation of sanctuary status. Now, when I raised this issue a year ago, the Welsh Government didn't... When I raised this issue a year ago, the Welsh Government didn't like what I had to say. I did get a lot of support from the general public. I had a whole load of supportive emails on this point. So your Government may not be in sync with the opinions of the people of Wales on this point. Another issue where you may once again be dangerously out of touch is on the issue of the burqa. Now, I commented on the burqa issue recently because I was asked to by members of the media, and you didn't like what I had to say. Now, do you think that this whole issue of the burqa is taboo and that nobody has the right to comment on this?
Well, is it right that a man should tell a woman what to wear? He thinks so. He thinks so. It's typical of his position. And what on earth does what people wear have to do with politics? We are a free country. It is a very un-British thing to say that people do not have the right to wear a particular item of clothing. That belongs in a previous time in a previous country, if I can put it that way. Let me remind him that each and every one of us in this chamber is the descendant of an immigrant. Each and every one of us. It's all a question of when our families originally came. This country is a country of immigrants. There were no people here. People arrived here from elsewhere. The Welsh language has its roots in Sanskrit. That's how far the Welsh language has travelled over many, many millennia. I do not see why offering sanctuary to a very small number of people should be taboo for him. He talks about services like mental health services. Many of them are delivered by immigrants. We would not have a national health service if we didn't recruit doctors from abroad. And I have to say, given the tone of what we've heard in this chamber this afternoon, the question must be asked as to what the difference is between UKIP and the BNP.
The problem you have, First Minister, is that once again you are completely out of touch with your own people.
The four members.
Sky News conducted a recent poll which indicated that 60% of the British people support a ban on the burqa. So let's just summarise your position here. You've said publicly that my comments on this were racist, yet 60% of the public appear to agree with me. By implication, you appear to believe that 60% of the British people are racists. Going forward, how does your Labour government expect to be re-elected if it goes around telling 60% of its own voters that they are racists?
4 members and dropping 29. There's the answer to you in terms of popularity, and that's the answer to you in terms of where we sit in terms of public support. You start with the Muslims, then you move on to Jewish people. You know, the Orthodox Jews dress in a strange way. We can't have that. Then you move on to people who wear skull caps. You know, why should they dress in a different way? Then you move on to other sections of the population, people perhaps who are Christians, who are members of particular churches, who dress in a particular way. This stops now. This stops now. Nobody has the right to tell anybody else in Britain, in Wales, a free country, how they dress. If that's the way that UKIP is going, then it's going down some very, very dark alleyways indeed. It's going down the alleyway of racism, and that's one which all of us in this chamber, apart from the famous four over there, will certainly object to and fight.
Arweinydd Plaid.
Leader of Plaid Cymru, Leanne Wood.
I'd just like to say that I'm proud to